Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, February the 23rd. Time just keeps moving, and it seems to go faster and faster, to tell you the truth, especially the older you get. But we've lost 67 more people since Monday. You'll see as I go forward that we're absolutely starting to look like we're getting, I wouldn't necessarily say we're getting past this, but we're really making improvements. But 67 folks, and Dr. Marsh has clearly said that the number of deaths will trail the progress that we're doing good, and they will still escalate a little bit, but we are making some progress, and, you know, maybe the skies are looking a little better. But for those 68, please, please, please keep them in your prayers. I've said it a million times. Don't let them just become a number. Please don't. But the 6,184th death in West Virginia is an 82-year-old female from Brooke County. The 6,185th death, a 70-year-old male from Hardy County. The 6,186th death, a 68-year-old male from Wood County. The 6,187th death, an 84-year-old female from Cabell County. The 6,188th death, an 87-year-old female from Wood County. The 6,189th death, a 59-year-old male from Jefferson County. The 6,190th death, a 55-year-old female from Greenbrier County. The 6,191st death, a 62-year-old female from Lewis County. The 6,192nd death, a 70-year-old male from Fayette County. The 6,193rd death, a 60-year-old male from Nicholas County. The 6,194th death, a 45-year-old male from Wood County. The 6,195th death, a 77-year-old male from Grant County. The 6,196th death, a 56-year-old male from Barber County. The 6,197th death, a 92-year-old male from Morgan County. The 6,198th death, a 64-year-old male from Kanawha County. The 6,199th death, a 59-year-old female from Boone County. The 6,200th death in West Virginia is a 69-year-old male from Roane County. The 6,201st death is an 88-year-old male from Berkeley County. The 6,202nd death is a 67-year-old female from Monroe County. The 6,203rd death is a 92-year-old male from Marion County. The 6,204th death is a 76-year-old male from Pocahontas County. The 6,205th death is an 88-year-old male from Randolph County. The 6,206th death is an 86-year-old male from Upshur County. The 6,207th death is a 97-year-old female from Ritchie County. The 6,208th death is a 73-year-old male from Randolph County. The 6,209th death is a 76-year-old male from Cabell County. The 6,210th death is a 74-year-old female from Wayne County. The 6,211th death is a 73-year-old male from Boone County. The 6,212th death is an 82-year-old male from Monroe County. The 6,213th death is an 89-year-old male from Cabell County. The 6,214th death is an 86-year-old female from Mingo County. The 6,215th death is an 85-year-old male from Ohio County. The 6,216th death is an 83-year-old male from Fayette County. The 6,217th death is a 77-year-old female from Ohio County. This one's bad. The 6,218th death is a 30-year-old female from Wayne County. The 6,219th death is a 95-year-old female from Raleigh County. The 6,220th death is a 90-year-old male from Boone County. The 6,221st death is a 66-year-old female from Morgan County. The 6,222nd death is a 67-year-old male from Logan County. And hear this, please. The 6,223rd death is a 23-year-old female from Jackson County. 6,224th death is an 81-year-old male from Wyoming County. 6,225th death is a 56-year-old female from Raleigh County. 6,226th death is a 90-year-old male from Jackson County. 6,227th death, an 86-year-old female from Wyoming County. 6,228th death. And you know, I just hate it. Great goodness alive. 34-year-old male from Raleigh County. I think just about my kids and how tragic that this would be with one of my children. But these are people's kids. And it's horrible. All these people that we've lost, and you know, we've lost so much wisdom, and grandmas and granddads, and you know, uncles and aunts, and just on and on. But when we lose kids, it just rips my gut out, to tell you the truth. The 6,229th death is an 81-year-old female from Kanawha County. The 6,230th death is a 79-year-old male from Cabell County. The 6,231st death is a 70-year-old male from Wetzel County. The 6,232nd death is a 94-year-old female from Clay County. The 6,233rd death is a 65-year-old male from Mercer County. The 6,234th death, a 90-year-old female from Jefferson County. The 6,235th death, a 93-year-old female from Wyoming County. The 6,232nd death, the 6,236th death is an 81-year-old male from Harrison County. The 6,237th death is a 90-year-old male from Jackson County. The 6,238th death is a 77-year-old male from Berkeley County. The 6,239th death is a 59-year-old female from Barber County. The 6,240th death is a 92-year-old male from Kanawha County. The 6,241st death is an 86-year-old female from Greenbrier County. The 6,242nd death is an 84-year-old female from Raleigh County. The 6,243rd death, an 89-year-old female from Mercer County. The 6,244th death is a 65-year-old female from Tyler County. The 6,245th death is a 72-year-old female from Logan County. The 6,246th death is an 81-year-old male from Randolph County. The 6,247th death is a 70-year-old male from Raleigh County. The 6,248th death is an 83-year-old female from Ohio County. The 6,249th death is a 69-year-old male from Harrison County. The 6,250th death in West Virginia is an 84-year-old female from Raleigh County. As far as our numbers, our active cases are down to 3,574. From right at 30,000, that's a big time drop. We have 708 new positive cases today with a daily positivity rate, the lowest I've seen in a long time, 6.84. You know, from the standpoint of our cumulative positive rate, it's at 8.39. We've recovered cases, like I said, of a little over 475,000. It's 476,382 in West Virginia, people that have recovered from this terrible pandemic. We have now under 600 people that are hospitalized. 596 people are hospitalized, 135 in the ICU units, and 78 on ventilators. You can see from our county map that we now have 27, right at half of the number of counties in the state of West Virginia, you know, that are green. And no counties that are red. So it sure looks better. We got 348 Guard members that are deployed to our hospitals, and it's at 38 facilities. We can never, ever thank them enough. All the stuff about, you know, the Biden administration's 4 free at-home COVID tests, you got to take advantage of that. If you choose to do so, go to our covidtest.gov. And it'll direct you how to get those, and the free N95 mask at pharmacies, 3 per person, you know, and or the health community centers and everything. You can go get those now. From the standpoint of our antibodies, I've told you over and over that discontinued a couple. We still got a couple that we can use, and we still continue to be a little short on supply. But if you are 65 and older and you have any symptoms and you'll go get tested, and by chance you were tested positive, we'd surely like to get you some kind of immediate reaction and immediate relief if we can. All the booster stuff, I've reminded you 1,000 million times that really the boosters, if you're vaccinated and you don't have your booster shots, you may be completely out of any level of immunities that you have because you're out past 6 months. You've got to get your booster shot. It is absolutely imperative. You've got to get your booster shot. We crossed another milestone as far as the folks that we've been able to get the shots to. We now, the people that are 65 and older, we now have 90% of those folks that have been vaccinated with at least one shot. We have 82.7 of the people that are 50 and above, and that's good stuff. So we're continuing to move the needle little by little. I wish we would absolutely be able to move it faster, but by being in front of you, by being out on the road, whatever it may be, and trying, we've made a difference. And we've saved a bunch of lives. I ask any and everybody to continue to try to help me, and I thank you for all you've all done each and every day. From the standpoint of our COVID vaccine info line, it's all up on our website. All the free testing information is all up there. We continue to thank Fruth and Walgreen for all that they've done, and they've done great stuff, and we really appreciate them. 149 outbreaks in our long-term care facilities, none in our church communities. We're down to 177 inmates and 54 staff cases. We applaud absolutely great work by corrections and taking care of these folks, and we still just got to continue to be on our toes. On the rental assistance program, there's still dollars there. We're working with our people to make it more, be able to get through it in a more smooth way. Absolutely, if you're a landlord or you're a renter, and you could, you would just call us. We'll walk you through the whole system, see if we can get you qualified. If we can, without any question, we'll be sending you some extra money, and that's good for West Virginia and surely good for the folks out there that are really hurting. I remind you about giving blood. Can't be more important. I remind you about taking advantage of this Jumpstart program that we have. If you're sitting and you're willing and able to be back in the workforce and everything, we would absolutely just lower our percentage of unemployment, which is great. You'll have a feeling of accomplishment that is better and everything, and I hope that you'll get back, and in doing so, we'll send you an incentive payment of $1,500 extra if we can get you in a job, and absolutely you're at that job for 8 weeks or greater, and maybe we'll lower those unemployment numbers even better, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have employees that'll be, that our businesses need so badly, and I'm sure it'll be great for those employees or potential employees as well. Couple announcements we did yesterday, which were just wonderful. We went to Blackwater Falls State Park, and we basically cut a ribbon that they had completed, renovations there, and I think the total dollars, on just the lodge alone, the total renovations of $6.85 million and $5.2 to just the lodge. What does it do? What does it do? It's proud of your own pond. Absolutely, the bookings are off the chart. We will return these monies to our state instantaneously almost by people flooding and coming into this great state, because we have great facilities, we have beauty beyond belief, we have the very best people. We're within a rock's throw of all these people that are out there. We want them coming to West Virginia. Secretary Ruby and Secretary Gaunch, what a job they've done. I mean, if you just step back and think about it. Before I walked in this door, We went down, 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 down in lots of categories, but primarily down in one, which was tourism and the spend of our visitors coming to the state. Now, how do you reverse that trend? Well, we did it. We did it. And now it is off the chart what's going on in tourism. We all know it. We all know it. What did we do? We put our money where our mouth is. We believed in ourselves. And we let the world just see how good we really are. And lo and behold, just like this story in the chapter of Blackwater Falls State Park, this story is just one of many. It's a great story about goodness coming to West Virginia, and it could never happen if we all didn't pull the rope together. So special congratulations to Secretary Ruby and absolutely the DNR. Without any question, you know, Steve McDaniels is still with us in a capacity of a consultant, but what a job he had done. You know, absolutely, it is just great, great, great work by lots of people. You know, so to Brett, to Steve, to Chelsea, to Ed, to all those that are out there making these licks and making this become a reality. We've spent $150 million, I think, on our parks now. You know, every single park in the state of West Virginia has gotten either a completed renovation or some level of something that is going on now, right now. Every park in this state has something that is either completed or going on now where we have spent money on every single park, making it better. It's good stuff. It's really, really good stuff. But congratulations again to all those that put in the licks and have really helped make this happen. Then we left there. We drove a pretty good little ways, and lo and behold, what did we do? We announced, and get this, we announced $147,839,550 absolutely, award that we announced the successful bidder, on the Quarter H Cheat River Bridge project. Imagine this, 3,300 feet in the span. I think it's even bigger than the New River Gorge Bridge. From where we were standing, 146 feet up was where the bridge would be. Now, I'm being told that maybe the length is not quite as long as the New River Gorge Bridge, but it is going to be a phenomenal structure. But let me just stay with this just 1 second. First of all, Senator Capito was there, and we thank her. And we thank Senator Manchin as well. Absolutely, without any question, a man that had to make a vote that was pressure-packed beyond belief in the infrastructure vote was Congressman McKinley. Now, I've endorsed Congressman McKinley, but nevertheless, I want to just say just this. It brings real dollars to West Virginia. Senator Capito voted for it. Senator Manchin voted for it. I would have voted for it. Politics, and I truly know without any doubt, my real buddy, President Trump, President Trump maybe wasn't on board with this, but my real buddy and he and myself, we can differ in opinions from time to time. But without any question, would this be good for West Virginia? There's no question it would. David McKinley had to make a vote. He got a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure. He absolutely decided to stay right rock solid with West Virginia. And I think that is absolutely good stuff. So did Shelley, so did Joe, and so would I. Because at the end of the day, none of us like all the garbage and the bells and whistles that may come with this, But for West Virginia, for this state, we couldn't afford to miss on this. And absolutely, I commend them in every way. The other thing I say, and I say over and over and over, and I've said it since I walked in the door, have I not? Quarter H is the most important project in the state of West Virginia. You know how long we've been at this on Quarter H? 50 years. 50. Now, in all honesty, I don't know if we can pull this off and we can get this done, but we're going to try. We got 23 miles left to go. 23 miles is all we've got left to go. And I have surely poured my heart and soul and effort and everything into Quarter H and trying to get as much done as I possibly can before I go out the door. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to continue to try with all in me, because I want us to try to accomplish having it done. Now, having it done may be that the bids are out, we're in the design project, and we're way down the trail. I don't know if that is physically possible to pull it off, but I'm going to try it. And I've already tried, because it is just that important to us. Now, on the other hand, what do I think is the next biggest project or most important project in highways? And I think it's the Coalfield Expressway, the King Coal Highway. I think really and truly we've got, in order for us to bring the goodness that's going on in a lot of different areas of our state into the state of West Virginia, I believe absolutely southern West Virginia needs connected with the world again. That would do it. Now, we've made real progress there. Absolutely. When I was running for office the first go-round, I stood at a place and it was growing up in weeds, and a lot of the initial road work was done and everything else, and people standing around and everything, and I just couldn't believe it. Because really and truly what they said is, we've been at this for 28 years. And there it's set. The road, the road cuts, the initial work was done, and there it's set. 28 years we've been at this. What is wrong with us in this state? 50 years we were at Quarter H. That doesn't work in my vocabulary. And so with that, and I hate to say it this way, but this is exactly what I did. I stood right at the podium and said, I'll build the damn road. And I did. Now, we connected 10 miles of the Coalfield Expressway from where it stopped right outside of Crab Orchard all the way to Mullins. We got a long way to go, and we got a lot to do, but there's lots and lots and lots that's going on there. And we got highways and lots of stuff all over the place that we're doing everywhere. We got a gigantic bridge right out here in St. Albans that's needed so badly to stop this terrible traffic, congestion and all on the interstate. But there's so many things that we're already doing. But just remember, from Jim's standpoint, the number one most important project is Quarter H. From Jim's standpoint, then you got to connect the southern part of the state to the world, don't you? Or to us. Now, without any question, that's what I think. So anyway, I really do thank Shelley, a great senator, Capito. I thank Senator Manchin. I absolutely thank a monstrously courageous vote in David McKinley. And I thank all those, our highway departments, Jimmy Riston was there, and all the different people that are putting in the licks, and the great contractors that are giving us bids that we can live with. So, great work. I couldn't be more happy, to tell you the truth. Absolutely. Every time I go on the road, and that's what I want to do. I want to be with the people. I want to get something done. I just don't want to sit around and talk about it. I want to get something done. And so yesterday, good day. Just got through doing something else that was really neat. President Mark Manchin of Glenville State College, which yesterday our legislature expedited in every way to change Glenville State College to Glenville State University. The bill reads, Glenville State College, having met the eligibility requirements established by the Commission to attain university status, is hereby designated as a university on the effective date of the amendment of this section. Today, Glenville State College, 150 years old, became a university. Now, a lot of great folks put in all the licks to make that happen. All I did was really trail behind. And I am proud to absolutely be the governor that was able to help in any way and trail behind in support of a school that is a dino. That's all there is to it. I spoke about Ike Morris and Mike Ross and how dedicated that they've been and what supporters they've been and what an incredible community that they have up there. Absolutely, when the selection process came down and Mark Manchin threw his hat in the ring, they made a whale of a selection when they picked him. They got a nursing school now on the way. Lots of great stuff happening at Glenville. And in addition to that, if you want to add the cherry right on the top, they've got the #1 ranked basketball team in the entire nation. And that's the women's basketball team. 25-0 now. The #1 ranked team in the nation. Doesn't it sound good? Doesn't it sound good? So congratulations, Glenville. I love it, to tell you the truth. Keep up the great work. Last thing I've got is I am declaring a state of preparedness, you know, in 41 counties and everything. There is a flooding threat, that's for sure, and we got to watch. You know, there's going to be more rain coming in tomorrow and Friday, and so we just got to keep our guard up and watch and everything. But nevertheless, the last thing I've got is, hey, Julie, how you doing? Hey, listen here. It just so happens that these beautiful ladies that are signing for us and doing this great work, one of them's birthday's today. So if we could absolutely wish beautiful Julie a happy birthday from me and all of us and everything. You know, great work they do every day, and thank you so much. And Jennifer, you give her a big hug for all of us. Thank you so much. Yeah, there you go. Thank you again. All right. Happy birthday.
All right, thank you, Governor. We'll now go to Dr. Clay Marsh, our coronavirus czar.
Well, first of all, happy birthday. That's awesome. Following up with what the governor said, I think that today I'm going to focus on what is going well and better for our state. And as the governor said, we are seeing a very clear descending trend in the number of COVID cases and the number of hospitalizations. We do anticipate that the deaths will lag, and we may even see an increase in the deaths. But for this surge, at least immediately, it does look like we're on the downhill side, and that is indeed good news. And as we look around the country, what we find is just more and more evidence that really does just reduplicate what we've talked about. There's a big study that has been done with the Madurana vaccine, and the finding is that people that received 3 doses of Madurana were 99.2% protected against hospitalization. So full vaccination with the boost makes a huge, huge difference. And because we are now in a more waiting pattern to see what will happen next, to see which fork in the road the COVID virus takes, whether or not the Omicron variant will be the most infectious variant that we see, or whether COVID will take a different turn and become a more a different form of the virus because of the genetic mutations as it replicates, and we'll have to deal with another form of COVID-19. We will be very much, very vigilant and making sure that we are prepared for whichever way it turns. But at the same time, it's important for anybody who has been infected with COVID recently that we know that the long COVID effects can start as much as a month after your diagnosis. So certainly if you develop problems with your thinking or with your concentration ability or headaches or shortness of breath or have any other problem, then start to think or at least consider the possibility that this could be some of the effects of long COVID. And similarly, for parents who've had children who've been infected with the virus, pay attention to any new symptoms that may be present, because this multi-system inflammatory syndrome, this inflammation situation in children, can also start weeks after the diagnosis of COVID-19. I'm not saying that to scare anybody or to be alarmist, but just that's worthy of consideration as we're starting to look at the next steps in the pandemic. And as the governor said, you know, we're so proud of all of our citizens, of our National Guard, of our leadership groups, and the heroes that have really answered the bell every single day during this pandemic. So thank you, healthcare workers, first responders, so many people that we need to thank. But it is also important that we not let our guard down too quickly and still make sure that we protect ourselves as we're older, because these are the people that are the most vulnerable still to the most significant and severe consequences of COVID-19. And as I said before, getting 3 shots, getting your 2 shots and your booster shot as you're eligible is 99.2% effective in reducing any risk of hospitalization. So that's something that we hope more and more people take advantage of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Anamjad and Secretary Bill Crouch are also joining us today and are available for questions. Retired Major General Jim Hoyer had a prior engagement and will rejoin us later this week. We'll now go to questions from members of the media. The first today from Charles Young with West Virginia News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with West Virginia News. Governor, I wanted to ask a non-COVID related question. I wanted to ask if you could provide us any updates about Virgin Hyperloop and the planned certification center. It was recently reported that the company had laid off about half their workforce and were changing the scope of their mission from human transit to cargo transit. I was wondering if there's any info that the state had heard about Virgin Hyperloop and their plans. Thank you.
Charles, I get updates, you know, like I'm sure that you've seen and everything, but I get updates from time to time and everything. I think probably realistically what I need to do to get you a better answer is to get with WVU, and I'll do that immediately and everything, and get a more detailed answer and everything. If you'd be sure and remind me or ask me about it again on Friday, I'll have more information and be able to give you a better answer. Right now, you know, I was right in the area yesterday and everything, and looked at one of the facilities that, you know, that has been proposed to build additional lodging and everything for employees in that area, and I inspected the building and looked at that yesterday, and but I got a lot of information, but I don't have enough to give you a really great answer.
All right, thank you, Charles. Next to Paul Mullen with WCBC.
Happy birthday, Julie, and Charles, thanks for stealing my question. Let me change gears a little bit and go on the COVID track. And there's been some report that we're going to be having an annual COVID vaccine. Dr. Marsh, is that in the pipeline for how we live with COVID on the way forward? Thank you.
Doc, please, Dr. Marsh.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you, Paul. Absolutely, as we start to envision a time in which we continue to live in better harmony with the COVID-19 virus, then we absolutely know that the vaccines that we have and the behaviors that we are undergoing will not be a sterilizing effect, almost certainly. And when we say sterilizing, we mean to make the virus go away. This virus is probably going to be with us for the very long future, beyond our lifetimes almost certainly. And as part of that, then, we will likely need to continue to create the right immune function to protect us from any more severe consequences of the virus over some time. And if it follows true to form with other coronaviruses, which there are a number, then over a very long period of time, it will probably evolve so that we may not need the vaccines, over a very long time. But for the immediate future, presuming that the virus doesn't change again, which we can't assume safely because it's changed every time we haven't expected it. Then came Delta, then came Omicron. So we have to be prepared for it to transition to another form that we'll have more problems with. But over time, we will use vaccines most likely to stay in harmony with the virus. And then maybe in a very, very long time frame, perhaps the virus and we will evolve so we don't even need the vaccine anymore. That's at least the projection that I would have.
All right, thank you, Paul. Next, we'll go to Kenny Bass with WCHS and Fox 11.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. I'm sorry I got on the call late, so if I'm asking something that's already been asked, forgive me. I did catch the tail end of what the governor said about Virgin, but I had some details about that, and I wanted to maybe just get a quick reaction from him before he talks to WVU, just about what was reported in the New York Post. Virgin has confirmed that they've laid off about half its staff, and it's abandoned its plans, at least for now, to develop a passenger transit system. They say what's gone on with the cargo problems in the country and the supply chain problems in the world, that they see an opening that way they could shift toward cargo shipping only, and would mark a significant change for Virgin Hyperloop. Again, this is off the New York Post and confirmed by the company. So, Governor, if that is indeed true and they're staying in business, yes, they did have layoffs, but they're shifting, and they believe it's a quicker way for them to develop the technology, and also easier, to be frank, because if you're not carrying human passengers, it's easier to get regulatory approval. If this is indeed true, and the company, as the newspaper is reporting, has confirmed it, it doesn't abandon the project. It just changes directions. As a businessman, just as a surface reaction, what would you think about a decision like that if they're taking advantage of what they see as a possible weakness or a possible opening to get into business more quickly?
Well, Kenny, I was going to do this a second ago, but I appreciate the question and everything. But let me just say this, from a businessman standpoint, or from your governor's standpoint, we're going to have ebb and flow all the time. We worked really, really hard to get the Hyperloop to consider West Virginia, and we won that battle, did we not? And absolutely, they announced that they're coming, and they're doing all kinds and they spent a bunch of money here and everything. Now, with all of that, things are going to change. They're going to go up and down. We're going to attract somebody that says they're going to employ 150 people, and before you spin around 5 times, they've got 500 people. And it goes back to Mitsubishi and lots of different. I mean, there's example after example after example of this. But from a business man's standpoint, I hate to say it this way, but dupe happens. That's all there is to it. It just does. And from their standpoint of pivoting from passenger to cargo, it may greatly enhance our ability from the standpoint that it could accelerate the project in a real way to where it tremendously benefits us. Or it could very well be that things slow down and everything else, and we've got to go a new core way or whatever it may be. But I'm telling you, what you should do as a business guy or a lady, and what you should do as a governor, is you should fish with lots of lines, and you should fish with lots of diligence, because there's going to be moments of good and surprises to the upside and surprises to the downside and everything. In this, I hope the net of the whole thing from a business guy's standpoint is it gives them a pathway that is faster in creating more jobs and faster in creating profitability for them, and faster in doing really good stuff for this country and the world. And so that's all I can tell you from the standpoint of a business guy. Shoot, I've seen this so many times, it's unbelievable. It's old hat to me. You know, this is part of the business world, and this is what you got to do. And so that's my best answer I can give you.
All right, thank you, Kenny. Governor, I'll turn it back to you.
Oh, well, I always write down all the stuff that's said, you know, from our experts, and make notes, and then write, you know, go back through them and comment about them. But that's the total of my notes right there today, and my notes are 223-22. You know, again, I congratulate Glenville, and yesterday was wonderful to see a gigantic project at Quarter H, you know, in motion and ready to take off, and all the good stuff we did with the parks and at Blackwater Falls and on and on. Great day yesterday. Everybody kept asking me, where's Baby Dog, where's Baby Dog? They're already asking me today, where's Baby Dog? We have some people from Taiwan here and everything, and they brought me this little bag and this stuff and everything from Taiwan, you know, and they just ask, is Baby Dog here today? You know, now imagine that, you know, but nevertheless, Baby Dog really and truly, she's had some busy days, and normally speaking, I told the people, normally speaking, you know, in the middle of the night, she's right there in the bed, and she's hard to move, and she'll lay right up against my back and everything. But last couple of nights and everything, she's been under the bed because she needed to catch up on her sleep and get real sleep, and I can hear her under there snoring, but she wasn't with me yesterday or today, but nevertheless, that's all I got to report. Again, congratulations, Mark, you know, and Glenville State University now. It's fantastic stuff. So that's all I got. Thank y'all.